Distinguished colleagues, I rise to move the motion that I have an issue that concerns and affects the most wanted issue regarding the power sector, and it is really affecting the desire of this government to really provide power to the nation, which also trying to deny us an access to about $800 million facility by the World Bank. That the matter is so urgent, and I move that our relevant rules, Order 8, Rule 4, and any other relevant rule to do that, to allow me to take it that the matter is important and to allow me to take the matter today. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it.
Representing Etinan Sudibom Rubium Federal Constituency from the Uncommon State of Akwa Ibom, I rise to second the second leg of the motion that will be taken today. I so second, Mrs.
Say aye. Those against it say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Yunusa, you can now move your motion.
Good colleagues, I remain Abubakar Yunusa Ahmad, representing Yamal Tudeba Federal Constituency of Gombe State. A transmission company of Nigeria TCN management and the future of the electric power sector reforms in Nigeria. The urgent need to facilitate swift action in the management of TCN through investigation. The House note that the TCN emerged from the defunct National Electric Power Authority, NEPA, as a product of the merger of the transmission and operation sectors on April 1st, 2004, and it is 100% federal government-owned company established pursuant to the Electric Power Sector Reform Act of 2005 to own and operate the 330 kV and 132 kV national transmission grid that transmit electricity from power stations to the distribution companies. Further note that the primary goal of establishing the TCN was to turn the company into a technically and financially efficient, sustainable, commercially viable, and market-driven company capable of evacuating the maximum capacity of generated energy from the generating companies to distribution and large-scale consumers throughout the country. Also note that the secondary goal was to reorganize TCN into two distinct units, system operation and management operation, able to operate as an independent system operation. Aware that the interim management director and CEO of TCN was appointed as immediate replacement for the reverted management consultants of TCN with a clear 3 to 6 month mandate, with the primary assignment of overseeing the foreseen period of transition period. Concerned that there was negotiation between TCN and the World Bank of the sum of US $468 million IDA for the proposed Nigeria Electricity Transmission Project, NETAP, scheduled for August 29, 2017, which had to be postponed due to changes made to the staffing of the project management unit for the World Bank assisted project in the TCN. Further concern that the reassignment of the PMU staff with less experience to TCN operations has substantially lessened PMU's overall experience of implementing World Bank assisted project, causing delays in achieving critical milestones, as the PMU was originally managed by TCN interim general managers since 2006, who report directly to TCN managing director. But with the changes made, it is an assistant general manager now in place, managing the PMU. Disturbed that the World Bank is desirous to conclude agreement with TCN management on the final form of the project implementation manual, including the staffing of the PMU as soon as possible, as this will enable negotiation of NETAP, the Nigeria Electricity Transmission Project, to be completed so that the IDA credit of $468 million for NETAP project can be scheduled for approval by the World Bank Board approximately 7 weeks after negotiation. Melancholic that the World Bank are keen to have NETAP project benefit from the ITA Scale-Up Facility, SUF, financing of $364 million, the amount of which the management of World Bank has agreed to allocate to Nigeria above the country's regular IDA allocation from the limited IDA SUF envelope. Worried that due to the non-compliance of the interim management of the TCN to effect the changes as required by the World Bank has not only affected the future project, but may also impact negatively on the implementation of the ongoing project, i.e. the $300 million Nigeria Electricity and Gas Improvement Project, NEGIP, technical assistance activities in NEGIP to support the power sector recovery program. Mr. Speaker, I want the House to resolve, mandate the House Committee on Power to immediately investigate the interim management of TCN for the delay in the execution of the viable projects such as the NEGIP that will improve the power sector in Nigeria. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Clear that the World Bank are dissident to the drawing of such fund. Part of it is that they have a project management unit which was established in 2006 to carry out all World Bank assisted projects and funding. Now, when the new management of TCN comes in, all those personnel managing the PMU are at the level of general managers because of their prerequisite qualification. He effected changes and brought staff that are lesser in experience and qualification. The highest of which is just an assistant general manager. That the World Bank drew the attention of the management. They wrote a letter to the Ministry of Power, Honorable Commissioner, and drew all these corrections, and they make recommendations which were not followed, were not adhered to, which now forced them that we couldn't access this fund since August. As I'm talking to you now, the fund is not there. Again, the World Bank has even intimated that as soon as they conclude the arrangement and we fulfill the conditions to access the $468 million they have already packaged additional $340-something million to be assisted. They call it SUF fund that they wanted to give Nigeria. But I don't want to use the word nonchalant, but for some reason best known to them, and that's why I'm calling on this House to investigate, they refuse to adhere and to effect the changes as required by the World Bank. And the World Bank failed. If personnel below the rank of general managers are now allowed to man the fund, they fail. They don't want to give this, throwing the money into the garbage. For such, I want this House to really look into the issue, commence the investigation, and then let the needful be done. My honorable colleagues, when you aggregate the sum of about 460-something with another 360, we are talking about $800 million to be injected into the power sector, especially the gas plant for the Gencos. And again, the TCN is supposed to improve their line so that power can be evacuated and be taken to destinations. For us to meet the 10,000 megawatt that has promised by 2020, I think the needful has to be done, and the decision has to start today. So, honorable colleagues, I don't want to bother you with that. With this, my brief presentation, it is a straight, clear matter. Let's commence action and let's do the needful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I so submit.
Those against it say nay. The ayes have it.